Good morning, everyone. It's a very choppy morning so far, especially since we had a really big move yesterday. I think a lot of people were just expecting a very large move coming out of the gates. That's obviously not the case. Yesterday was historical. We had 3% on QQQ. We had a whole 2% on the S&P 500. It was a crazy day. It didn't matter what chart you pulled up, as long as it wasn't oil or oil related, it was going through the roof. For today, I would expect some chop. Okay, we did have PMI data that came out just a little bit ago. That didn't really seem to move the market too much, which is fine. I was already expecting chop to begin with. You saw that we had a false breakdown of the opening range, but no 5-minute candle closed below. So we just sit here and wait on the indexes. No updates so far on the swings today. I'm out of most of my Bank of America. Those went up 200% yesterday. I'm out of most of my Boeing. I think I only have like 2 runners. Let me check. Yeah, I've only got 2 runners there. Let's see what else. Apple was a big one. Already out of most of those. I was still holding my SNXX shares. Those are down today, but I'm green overall on this position. I'm also green. I forgot to mention this yesterday. I'm also green on my DRAM shares. Those are also green today as well. I got in, my average was around 5270, I think ish. Yeah, 5270. So those are looking good. It's a nice comeback on this one, especially after we crashed. What was it? Like to 43? Yeah. That was a really nice move back up. If you guys have any questions, or want me to take a look at certain charts, just go ahead and put it in the chat. I will take a look at it. Yeah, feel free to ask anything. Still moving on with some of my swings. Of course, I still have the TSLL calls. These I think I took these before earnings. They're coming back up, but I did hold through this drop here. Probably wasn't smart, honestly, but I did it anyways. I wanted to see if Oracle's red today. Oracle's been really nice. It had a really nice bounce. It's consistently headed back up. Yeah, we're just waiting. The big one though is PLTR, Palantir. This one's just been through the roof. After its earnings, we're up like over 30%. Yeah. So I did confirm, somebody did say that Michael Burry was holding puts, I think, not shorting the stock directly. So I don't know how many he still has, because I think he did take profit on a decent amount of them. But yeah, it's had some crazy strength. All right, so let's start looking at some potential trades. So you obviously have the opening range here on the S&P 500, right? Now, to me, and this is just me trying to find a pattern, right? It could be somewhat of a head and shoulders here for a potential move to the upside. I wouldn't go long yet until we can confirm that we are outside the opening range, right? This is a pretty clean but small opening range. For upside targets, you would want to potentially look at, now this is a little exaggerated for a pivot, considering pivots usually take into consideration the previous day move, the size of the previous day move. So I don't think we would see another day like yesterday or the day before today. but there is the possibility that we could get up to 79, 80-ish. I think up here would be the high of day. For a downside, you would want to fill the gap, right? And by that, I'm talking about, let me remove these drawings. I'm talking about this right here. This little gap down to 73.40-ish. It's like a $3 move down. If the range broke, that's what we'd be looking for on downside. Another thing to point out as well is how we can see the S&P 500 has had some major strength over the past few days, right? Compared to the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ hasn't even made all-time highs yet. And if you remember from back in, when was it? April, going into May, the big May run-up, the NASDAQ was actually stronger than the S&P 500. So it's the opposite this time. This time we're seeing strength from the S&P 500 over the NASDAQ. And I think a big reason for that is memory. A lot of memory stocks still aren't at their all-time highs. For example, MU is still down 25%. I think SanDisk is down a similar amount. Might be a little more. Yeah, SanDisk is down 38%. You have other stocks like WDC also still down. A lot of the AI stuff is still down, right? And you have even Tesla as well, right? Nvidia is actually up nicely today. But this is the reason why we're seeing the NASDAQ much higher, or the S&P 500 much higher than the NASDAQ this round. Because you have the S&P 500 is going to have more exposure to stuff like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, stocks like these ones, that really are in a really strong uptrend. Google as well. I don't know why my keyboard keeps doing double G's. It's a little stronger, right? And that's fine, because I think all it's showing is that there is, there's more room up in the market. So I think the NASDAQ will eventually make a new all-time high, and the S&P 500 will just continue climbing, right? BA really came back from the dead. Yeah, so Boeing had a really rough, actually, let me pull it up on the chart. It had a really rough Friday, right? When was that exactly? This was Monday. Yeah, I had a really rough Friday. So I took them here, took a major dip, and then just came roaring back really strong. Those don't expire until Friday. So, I mean, they're already up like 400, 800% or something? I forget. They're up in the hundreds of percents gains. So, SPCX. Here's the one that everybody thought was going to go pumping. It's overvalued. It still is overvalued. But this really isn't that bad of a drop. Not as bad as I was thinking it was going to drop. I thought it was going to be worse. Personally, I did take some credit spreads on this, so I will be making money on this as long as we don't get back above, I think, 25-ish. I feel like there's more downside here, though. I still feel like we're in a strong downtrend, right? I don't think the low is in just yet. Do I support this company in the stock? Absolutely. I like the idea. I just talked about this in a post yesterday. I love the idea of us going to Mars, or expanding beyond Earth. But you have to take the company valuation and be realistic. It has lower to go. I'll take a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is in that area. I think they talked about this. When was it? It was last week sometime, but I talked about once it gets back into here, this range, that we should very quickly get back to 230, right? And that's it. Looks like exactly what we're going for. NVIDIA is up 4% today on some SpaceX partnership news. So it's great for the company. earnings is coming up later this month. Yeah, towards the tail end. Should be green like always, in my opinion. I'll take a look at Snap. Snap having a pullback. I feel like there's more room up here. I think Snap can get back up to 632. And then you have all of this that I think can get... I think we can recover some of it. SPY is below the orb. Yes, I did see that. I'm waiting because the thing is... Well, honestly, we might want to wait until... see if till the 5-minute candle closes, and then it would probably be worth shorting. Would you agree if 775 keeps holding, we will see a breakout on SPY to 778 plus? The target to the upside would actually be 780. And yeah, we would need to hold 775.25-ish, the bottom of this opening range. Because doesn't seem like there's much strength in the pre-market. It should just continue falling if we do close below. This is why you're watching this right here. This is why we wait for 5-minute candles to close, because it'll drop below the orb, right? And then you go short, and then it's just like, never mind, we want to go back up, right? And that's exactly what it's doing right now. So this is a perfect example of why you wait for the 5-minute to close. It may come back down, we'll see, but it's a very choppy morning so far. So what I might do is just start looking for some swings. CVS is down really bad today after its earnings. I was looking at the numbers, and they really aren't that bad. This is one that I am keeping an eye on going long today. Just seems a little, I don't know. Should be back above 100 soon. Looks like Sedge is down. Solar Edge Technologies is down, what, 20%? After its earnings? What happened? No, so I wouldn't say no 0DTE today. There can be one as long as the ranges break, right? This is such a tight range on SPY. You guys hear me talk about these all the time. They tend to pin, like after a really big day, like yesterday, for example. The stock market likes to, take a second, I guess, is a good way of explaining it, and just like take in all the information, and it tends to do this where it just like sits in a range, right? And we're already an hour into the stock market, and we're literally sitting like 40 cents below the opening price, right? The reason why you wouldn't take any 0DTE for now, at least, is because you're going to get theta chopped. You're going to get theta chopped. It's going to be bad. You're going to lose value on your cons, just simply time deterioration. With a share unlock now for SpaceX, probably will go lower. When will you consider share price to load up for long-term investment? That's exactly right. The unlock, all the lock-in, that's now over. It's over. But yeah, that's going to trigger more downside. Definitely. I personally, if you're asking me exactly when, man, I can't type today. If you're asking me when I would be interested in buying SpaceX, it would be below 100, right? Ideally, I would like the 90s, right? Even like the high 80s, like low 90s, high 80s, around here, is where I would probably start buying. I think that would be closer to a company valuation. I don't think we'll see all-time highs, at least for another year or so, depending on what SpaceX comes out with. But yeah, I mean, I'll be a big buyer in the stock. I like it, but it needs to go lower, in my opinion. Yeah, that's my opinion on it. Good morning, Christina. Yeah, so going back to that range that I was talking about, That's disgusting price action. We need to see a move. It's really pinned around this pivot right now, this R1. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see if there's better movement on QQQ or IWM. That's still in range. Let's check the Russell. Well, for bullish opportunities, that the Russell might be stronger. I don't know. Let's start looking at some swing trades. I'm gonna check the premiums on CVS real quick. I think we can get some CVS calls. Let's look for like a month out. Maybe like September 11th. Let's see, how much did it drop? Originally 104, so we could probably go for like the 103 call. That's a horrible spread. Okay, we may have to wait for these. The spread's like really wonky. Yeah, I'm going to focus on swings right now. I'm going to stay away from anything oil. Because if the straight reopens again, then oil's going to go through the, or drop hard. Riley could be a nice one. The problem is they typically, well, let's see, RSI is confirming. Interesting. I wonder how much the $8 call is. That is a nice breakout. Ideally, probably a month out, you go for a move up here. So is that 15%? Puts you in the money 885. If we went for the $8 call, they're sitting around 0.58. Let me see if I can. I do kind of like this one. I think it's going to be the $8 yeah, the $8 strike for September 11th or September 4th. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take it around 0.60. It's the Riley $8 call. I'll alert it in Discord as well. Riley $8 call, September 4th. It's around 0.60. Let me alert that in the Discord. Okay, I just posted that. It's the Riley $8 call, September 4th, around 0.60. First trims at around 0.72. Next at 0.90. Next trim at 1.2. 220. That's 20%, 50%, and then 80%. I'm not going to place a stop loss just yet. It's pretty far out. If a disaster happens, then I'll probably average into these. So that'll be my first one for the day. I still definitely going to keep an eye on CVX or CVS. Sorry, not CVX, CVS. We are staying away from oil for now. Let me check out MSTR for you. Nvidia off the open for great scalp. Yeah, they had some great momentum. Sorry, I'll look at MSTR in just a second. We're headed up to 230, I think, on Nvidia. The 105 call on CLX. Let me see. Oh yeah, actually that is if you're playing off of yesterday's, this is actually a really nice position. I would say we're getting up to 108 actually. Yeah, if you're holding this like the 105, especially for what is it, late August, you have a good chance depending on where you entered. For a move at least to 108, so that should put you what, $3 in the money. MSTR. I hate this company for the record, and a lot of it is just chopping right now. Very choppy. It's waiting for Bitcoin to do something, and I think it'll consistently stay below 100 until Bitcoin does see some sort of bullish push. Right now, Bitcoin's still just pinned around 60,000 for the most part. Let's take a look at the S&P again. So we are below the orb here, and the 5-minute close below. So let's look at some puts. No, not SpaceX. Spy. Oh, these are kind of pricey. Probably go for the 772. If it retests, it's tough because Nvidia is strong right now. A lot of the AI is strong. But ideally for downside, we want to target the gap fill right here. I think you can go for it. Okay, so it looks like it's going to close this gap right here. So if you're in shorts, you should be able to take profit here. Yeah, keep an eye on that level if you're shorting right now. If 774 holds, we should be bullish if we tag 75 again. After that, unless we break 774. Yeah, if we break 774, we actually are going to see 773.40. I wouldn't say 772 necessarily, but at least I would be confident in a gap fill. I'm already pretty confident we're going to fill this gap right now. So at least probably another $1 down on SPY. Yeah, because we're below the range, 5-minute close. Yeah, it's nice. That's a good short. No, I'm not in SPY calls. I'm not playing SPY calls right now. I haven't touched SPY at all today because of this chopper here. I've only taken Riley swings so far. I'm going to shoot for a CVS swing. We'll see if this can get down to here, though, and then we'll pay attention and then see if we can catch a bounce. Give me just a minute. We back. Sorry, I had to go get some water. Yeah, looks like we're still dropping. No, I don't have spy calls. No. I never took them. The NASDAQ just went red. I'm honestly going to try to get some calls if we touch the gap fill here. MCD. McDonald's. It's really strong. It's actually headed up to 277. Needs to get through this pivot though. Actually, it could be headed up to. That's really strong, actually. RSI is a little overbought here. You can see. Actually, this might be good for a swing. Yeah, actually, I'm going to keep an eye on this one for a swing. Interesting, I would have never found that. We are going to set an alert on this one. That's a good find. Oh man, we came so close, like 20 cents. Yeah, I'm still swinging Clove. Earnings should be good. Should be. Netflix. This is one of the opportunities that I said I feel like most people are missing out on or not paying attention to right now. I think Netflix is going to have a really good run. I wouldn't, if you're going to buy calls in this one, I would definitely go like leaps instead of like short term. It's not moving quick enough for short term, but I feel like even loading up a bunch of shares here is pretty good. I would ideally like to see this back above 100 by the end of this year. I think it's possible. Just seems way oversold in my opinion. MSTR, I'm sorry I did not take a look at that one. Oh, I did take a look at that one. Yeah, so like I said, below 100. I do think it's odd that Bitcoin has not had a nice bounce with the overall market, right? And it just doesn't seem, as strong anymore. It's not like in 2022 where you saw, Bitcoin drop to 15,000 and it just rocketed with the stock market bounce, or even earlier this year during the May run up where it ran back up. It's pretty, not so fun anymore. Imagine buying at 120 earlier, like in September, just to watch your position get crushed by minus 50%. I genuinely feel bad for people who bought the top. But there's the whole thing where, like, they think that Bitcoin's going to head up to 200,000. I don't know. I'm not a crypto trader, right? I hold crypto, yes, but I'm not big on crypto. It's not like, I'm not too big into crypto. If we're gonna take a look, let's take a look at Clove real quick. Those did have a nice run up when I held them. So I've only got, you know, I forget how many I have left after I trimmed. But earnings are coming up, and I feel like it should go for more. For those wondering, I took the Clove 4.5 call for August 21st. Tech too hot for Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, the problem is all the focus is on AI right now. It's on AI, and crypto's really taking a backseat. If you even look at, you know, the rest of the stock market, you know, everything AI is up way, well, I can't say way too much because I want it to keep going, but it's up a lot this year, and it would be totally reasonable. And now, while I am very bullish, right, in a lot of ways, I would not be opposed to AI related stocks just having a much larger pullback. AI is the future, whether we like it or not, and it would be nice to capitalize on it while it's still cheap. From an investor, you know, point of view, it's bouncing here. Did not close the gap yet. I think this is due to Nvidia still having strength. Maybe not Nvidia. I don't know. This just seems way too choppy. I mean, yesterday we moved like what 14%, and today we've already, what's the range so far is $3. By this time yesterday, I think we had already moved $10. So what was that, by like 7:30? Or we had moved $6. So we'd move like double. It might be just one of those days where you sit out 0 DTE and you just trade swings. Tesla gonna cool down? No, Tesla will keep going. I feel like Tesla held 300, and it has room at least back up to 350. And I'm not being delusional here, because actually I am very realistic when it comes to Tesla. I'm perfectly fine shorting this when it needs to be shorted. I'm perfectly fine going long when it needs to go long. But I feel like 300 was like the spot that everybody wanted to get in at, and it held that. It should get back up to here, like the upper 340s. I feel like we're gonna have big issues here at like 370-ish. That's no longer support, that fell through. Bitcoin Cash, thoughts on buying it? I don't know. That'll be my answer. I hate saying the words I don't know, but I don't know for that one. It's not, I don't believe in crypto as the future. You know, I don't. I would suggest getting back into Clove for earnings. No, I wouldn't. If you trimmed earlier, I would not get more. That's just me. I'd set this one out if you already took your trims. Let's see how those CVX. Man, Solar Edge is down a lot. Honestly, I might just try risking this and pick up a con or two. You know what? Let's check out the Solar Edge cons. We go like a month out. They're pricey, but I mean, if we can pull a recovery, then that would be good. I might go for some SPY calls right now. See if Nvidia still has the strength. Actually, it might be smarter to buy Nvidia. Probably like these ones that expired today. Let's give these ones a shot. The Nvidia 220 calls expiring today. They're not too expensive. It's like more around 100 right now. It's like 1.02-ish. See if I can get it filled. Oh, nice. I can get filled. Oh, it's cheaper. Okay. I'm going to get filled in here at around 0.90-ish. We're just going to give these ones a shot. Get filled for a little lower. 8.4, 5. Nice. So it's the 220 call. Around 0.85-ish. I am not heavy at all. That's a pretty light position overall. If you can get filled lower, nice. Let's take a look at SPY. See if we can fill that gap. Yeah, I think we're going to fill that gap, and then we can go for some SPY calls as well. As a matter of fact, I might just start going for them now. We'll look at probably go for the 776 calls. This is risky, of course, because if it keeps going to the downside, like if it breaks through that gap, then we're going to see lower. I'm going to try here, 0.79-ish for the 776. Oh, it fell through. Nice. Okay, so now I'm going to get a nice price here. Let's go for the 776, a little cheaper. Get around like 0.65. It's nice. Not heavy in these, so. And let's see if we can get our bounce now. So yeah, if you took the opening range breakdown, you should be taking profits on your puts. And now I'm switching up to trying to catch a bounce. Probably average into those Nvidia calls too. So I did average down into those Nvidia calls. See how those go. Where do you set your stop in the SPY calls? We'll probably set our stops around here. 771.50. I feel like if it breaks down here, then it could get really ugly. I don't think we'll drop that far. Took Tesla puts off VWAP. Did it retest the VWAP? Oh yeah, that's a nice trade. Yeah, what, your $2 in profit? That's good. The VIX did spike, yes. Is PLTR done, and do you think Michael Burry's short position can play a role? No, I don't think Michael Burry nobody really cares about that position right now. I don't think he holds a large enough position on Palantir right now. And I don't think the move up is done. I think what we will see on Palantir for a little bit is probably some chopping. Definitely chopping around a bit. Which is fine. And it. Oops. Yeah, so is that an all-time high? That is an all-time high. Wow, how did I miss that? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's an all-time high break. Usually it's a good sign of just continuation. Just got a Tesla puts. I'm scared of that's my problem. Were they 0 DTE, Christina? Because if they're 0 DTE, yeah, it's not moving quick enough right now. Let's see how the SPY calls are doing. Well, the SPY calls are green. 0.81-ish. Yeah, 0 DT is definitely risky on those. Yeah, because if... Let me see. Interesting. Tesla actually had an opening range breakout failed twice? Or wait, that's just once. Interesting, yeah. The SPY calls were up 23%. I took a trim. They got up to 0.85. I took a trim of 0.80. Which is nice. I want NVIDIA to head back up though. That's the big one. I believe those NVIDIA calls were green for a second. Yeah, they were green up to 0. Oh man, I should have taken a trim. Yikes. Especially after my average down. Oh well. Should head back up. They're sitting around break even for me. I need to set an alert. First time here, we have 15%. Yeah. Nice. Would you take the NVIDIA or the SPY? Also, I really appreciate when people are settle for like small, consistent gains. It's a really good sign, especially when people do it early in their trading careers. Let's see what everybody else is doing today. I don't know if any of y'all follow Valerie in the community, but she's been on a really consistent run. I mean, she does sell options, but very consistent. I gotta get a new screen today. I only have 2 right now, so I have a really big monitor, and then I have a like a vertical monitor on the left of me. Man, look at this Manny guy. Very consistent. Small gains, consistency. I love it. Good job, Manny. I think you got out of those Tesla puts at the perfect time, Christina. Yeah, especially that's a low day. Everybody should be taking more trims on SPY again, because they're back up. Hit 0.90. Nice. Took off a few more. And then for NVIDIA, also keep an eye on NVIDIA. So that's about 40% on SPY calls off the bottom there. It's pretty good. Not bad. Yeah, only 2 screens, right? Some, you know, a lot of people say, so actually I should post a picture of it in the Discord later. When I did move back, it's kind of like a temporary setup for now until I get my new studio. But also, I only need a studio, like, for now, I'm young, and I see no point in having a really big apartment if it's just me, and nobody really ever comes to visit anyways, so I'm perfectly comfortable with just having a studio. Although, my last roommate was actually really cool. We actually got along, like, really well. I think you can take, yeah, let's take a trim on the NVIDIA calls. Let's trim those right now. So it's like, that's like 30% on NVIDIA. It's not too much, but I mean, I'm pretty happy with the small gains today. We had, yesterday was insane. There was just like, it was just back to back, like 200% gainers. So today I'm perfectly happy just going at a nice consistent pace. So we've got like 40% on SPY. We've got 40% on the video calls. We'll see if the market keeps grinding higher. I don't know. I still feel like it's going to be a really choppy day. Yeah, I mean, and the big thing is too, like, I don't mind. Like, I'm not really, you know, I hang around my family. I play video games every so often, and I trade in the stock market. That's like my life, right? And hit the gym. So, do you have any major hobby outside of training? Yeah, actually, I'm glad you asked. I do. I'd love to do a few things. So, I really love sports, right? And my family growing up has been really athletic. I played, you know, competitive basketball. My brothers played competitive sports as well. I really love doing sports. As for like other stuff, I really enjoy dirt biking. If I could open like an Instagram or a TikTok page like solely dedicated to like dirt biking and like street bike riding, I would do it. But I already have so much time consumed into, you know, social media for stock market trading. But I love, you know, dirt bike riding. That is a big, I love it a lot. $1,000 on NVIDIA. Nice. I think it'll keep going too. So I think you might be able to squeeze out a few more. But yeah, there's a lot of random things I love doing. I love going to the gym. I love Frisbee. Recently, something that my siblings and my friends and I have gotten into is like volleyball. and I didn't play a lot of volleyball growing up, so that's been it's been new for me. I enjoy it. I think it's fun. I wish I was better at it. But it's kind of tough to do like outdoor things, especially in southern Arizona, because it's just always hot outside. Like, for example, let me look at the weather right now. Well, it's not too bad right now. But it's like 82 degrees, but we've had highs of like 114. The other day it was 117, right? Arizona is awful. Yeah, that's the other one, pickleball. I play a decent amount of pickleball. I'm not too good at it, but I enjoy it. Yeah, I was looking at some of the Florida temperatures, and one of my buddies was texting me. He said it was like crazy. I forget what he said it was. It was over 100, I think, in Florida the other day. That's crazy. Do you only have X? For now, I mean, I have an Instagram. I just haven't marketed it really, but I really keep everything on X. What I'm gonna be moving on a lot is TikTok. I'm gonna be moving to TikTok soon, doing a lot of TikTok stuff because apparently a lot of people like TikTok. So, how do you handle time difference with Arizona being 100% involved in the market? You don't sleep. That's a good observation. Great observation. No, I don't really sleep. Lucky for me though, I am one of those people that doesn't need much sleep, so I can manage perfectly fine on like 6 hours of sleep. So going to bed, at 11 or 10, and waking up at like 5:30, it really isn't that bad. Yeah, Florida humidity, that sucks. Coming from Texas, humidity sucks. I miss California. I was just in San Diego. What was it? A week and a half ago. It was amazing there. It was amazing. I hadn't been there since I think I was 15. So that was like, what, 10 years ago? That was amazing. Yeah, California was really nice. Try Minnesota. I've been to Minnesota. My family lives, well, a lot of my mom's side of the family lives in Idaho. So every so often we pass through, all of the northern states there. Montana, Minnesota, some of like North Dakota. So we'll do like a road trip, right? And we'll pass through Minnesota normally. And yeah, Texas and California are horrible. I agree with you. But Minnesota is nice. I don't mind it. I haven't been there in a winter. We never traveled through there during a winter, so I'm not sure exactly how that is. Maybe it is miserable. Maybe it's nice. I hate cold, so. Although the heat in Arizona is really bad, I am grateful for the not so harsh winters. Spy still chopping a bit. I don't know if this is a bull flag right here, but still chopping a bit here. My close friend is a hand surgeon. His business, yeah, there's something with pickleball. I don't know what it is. There's something with pickleball. I don't know. How did I get into trading? Really, it began with, so when I was really young, my dad was managing some of his finances and stuff, and my dad's pretty experienced when it comes to some like basic options trading, option selling, and he got me hooked into it when at a really young age. This is when I was like 18 years old, even like 17, but yeah, it just kind of like, I don't know, I went down like the YouTube rabbit hole, and then I took some courses, and then some of my classes were geared around finance, and then it just like one day I decided this is just what I want to do, right? I'm going to try to do this full time. And it worked, It took a lot of sacrifice and a lot of time, and definitely some big failures in the beginning. I think you guys have all read that long post I made that blew up like a couple years ago where I talked about how I lost like $60,000 in a single week. That was like in my first year of trading. So that was a really good learning experience. I don't know if I'm going to cherish my sleep, Christina. I don't know. I hate it. Contrary to what everybody else loves their sleep, I for some reason just dislike sleep. I feel like it's like wasted time. I don't know why. I know that's a horrible thought process, and I'm sure, yeah, you're right, probably right. As I get older, you know, I probably will eventually. Well, I'm gonna need more sleep for sure, but while I can handle 6 hours of sleep a night, I'll take advantage of it. AZ heat is sleep time. That's not a joke, yeah. You wouldn't recommend driving through the winter? I know we drove through Montana in the winter once, and if it's anything like a Montana winter, then yeah. I was in AZ in August, and it was too hot to walk on the pool deck with bare feet. That is true. You cannot walk on any concrete or anything remotely close to the same material as concrete here in Arizona because it is just way too hot. When finding swing trades, you mainly research the company and its prospects like earnings or use technical indicators and levels. What I like to do, it's a little, there's 3 things I do. It's very different. I don't know if I've ever explained this. I look at previous earnings in the last 3 years, and I take an average of how many times it jumped versus how many times it chopped versus how many times it went down, you know? I take that, and then I take, it looks like NVIDIA is going nice. Take more trims on the NVIDIA calls. I take that, and then I also look at, the big thing is the previous quarter, right? I like to look at the numbers of the previous quarter, and then I look at indicators. Indicators are like the last thing I look at for determining earnings moves. NVIDIA calls are definitely losing value due to theta. SPY calls as well. The stop loss for all of these should be at break even. There's no reason to lose. See, that's my problem. I have like late afternoon naps. Any thoughts on Carvana? Yeah, it's a scam company. As for the stock price, it's on a really nice run right now, but we're back into this like really choppy range. So, I don't really have anything to say about it for now. Too choppy. I mean, if you want to keep trading within this range, you got like what, 72.50 to 62. So it's like a $13 range. It's just going back and forth in. Probably selling options would be smarter here, in my opinion. I think SPY's going back down again. Oops. The nice part too about when I get my studios, I'll be able to do a face cam. So I am looking forward to that. Yeah, so we're just chopping here on SPY. NVIDIA is, I think NVIDIA actually has a better chance of having a stronger run up. SPY calls seem to be slowly deteriorating. Yeah, so looks like I got stopped out. Yeah, so I got stepped out of the SPY calls at break even. It's fine. So we're just holding the NVIDIA calls now. 40% on SPY isn't that bad. I'm happy with that on a day like today. We'll see if NVIDIA keeps going. But I'd like to get back up to here, like 220 again. Would be cool if these calls go slightly in the money. Was the 60K loss from a full port? No, actually. It was from, I I was fighting the direction. So this was in 2022. And if any of you remember 2022, it was horrendous. It was a bear market. And there was a week where we were just like consistently going up. I think it was like a bounce in 2022. And I thought that, oh, you know, the overall trend is down. Let me keep shorting, right? And it just kept going up, right? The stock prices kept going up. It was on SPX, right? I was playing SPX options and just absolutely got massacred. Looks like I might be done on the video calls too. Yep. Okay. So we are not holding anything now. SPY made another low. So that was not a bull flag. I mean, the downside's limited. I don't think we're not going to have like a full grind down day. But going back to that, the 60K, it was in a duration of an entire week, and it was SPX puts throughout the whole week, and I just got everything wiped out. It was very early on in my trading career, and it was just a loss of control of emotions, basic risk management, and so many other things. It was a great life lesson. I'll put it that way. So for downside, there is the potential move back down to 771 here. That would be probably, if you're shorting the market right now, that would be your target. If you're going to try to go for a bounce, then ideally you would want a move back up to the top of the opening range here, or the bottom of the opening range, excuse me. But we are dropping right now, and I think that's due to, yeah, so Tesla's playing its part, and then I think memory is also, no, actually memory's holding up nicely. Interesting. What could be dragging this down? I mean, Microsoft is red, but could be Google. I know Tesla isn't really having a strong day either. So Tesla, I think, is probably definitely playing a role in it. Oh, wow. We already hit it. Okay, so there it was. It perfectly bounced. Did everybody see that? Perfectly bounced on 771. Okay, so I nailed that level. Question is, do I want to go long again? Because I don't think there isn't much room for downside. Yeah, it would have been nice to catch the calls right around at that level, but that was literally the... Oh, it's crazy. Actually, I called that to the cent. Wow. Well, if it comes back down, man, actually, it could just bounce from here. Yeah. That's a whole dollar move right off of my level right there. If it comes back down, I'll go long. Or if it breaks... Actually, this is so tempting to go long. I'm going to stay out. I'm going to stay out. I'm going to be smart. I'm going to stay out. Let's look at some other swings. Let's see how Riley's doing. Okay, so hasn't done anything. That's fine. That's more of like a multi-day. We'll be waiting for that one. How long do you think metals will run? Metals aren't really running yet. Although, I think silver has to close this gap right here. I mentioned this, I think it was a couple weeks ago, where I talked about this silver gap. It looks like it wants to fill it, but it's just, there's so many gaps everywhere. It's tough. I can check the futures. It's probably more accurate for But yeah, that's like a move up to here, 71. They could have a run. We'll see. What position are you in? Oh. I'm going to be so mad if that is the low of day and I was distracted and didn't take calls. That is going to frustrate me. I am frustrated. Yeah, that's frustrating. Okay, well, I knew where it was going to bounce. I just didn't take any action. The funny thing is, NVIDIA calls are actually back to break even. Let's just look at the possibility of SPY calls. Maybe a 775, a 0.70. Those went up 100% too if I caught the low. Oh, frustrating. Okay. It's not like it hung out at 7.7 for even a minute. It's true, but like I could have caught it in the wick here. No, you're not distracting me with the questions. Don't worry. Inflation remains the key challenge. If it comes back down to 771, I will take calls for sure. How high could we go on the bounce? 774-ish, right here. It would be in here. Silver calls for December. I like it. Over 9-day EMA. Yeah. That's smart. I don't think it'll be a grind down all day. Like, what are we, 2 hours in the market? It's not going to be a grind down all day. Want to take one more swing. HPQ calls were green yesterday. They're back to break even again today. Pins is down after its earnings. Sedge calls are too expensive. T-Doc, nice bounce after its death candle. I did mention last week that I was thinking of taking calls on these. Not yet, though. On semiconductors, actually down 4% today. That's interesting. Considering semis are up right now. Let's take a look at some on calls. Nah, actually, it's got a little bit further. 74. Well, it could be. Let's see. Let's just see how much they're worth. Probably go like 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out. Nah, they're way too expensive. Nope, we're not playing those. I have neither the time nor the patience to play such expensive calls. BMY. BMY is a nice one. Actually, this should be free money here. Yeah, BMY should be free money. So we can probably take some BMY calls. I was watching these yesterday. Take a look at the prices. We'll take a look at the 66 call for August 28th. They're around 100. Probably get filled a little lower. Now it's around 100. It's 1.00 for the 66 call for August 28th. I'll alert that in the Discord. So it's the BMY 66 call, August 28th, 08 dash or slash 28 at 1.00. That's a swing trade. The trims are at 1.20. Next trim's at 1.50. Next trim is at 2.00. That's for 20%, 50%, and 100%. You know what? We're going to try them here. Let's try some SPY calls. Let's try the 774 at like 0.70. It's a 774 call. Like 0.72. If you can get it like around 0.70. Not going to go heavy again. This is going to be pretty it's a light position. See if we get a bounce here. Yeah, so the BMY calls, I already took those. I don't know why Best Buy gapped down that hard. That's kind of odd. Is that 2% down? Did some news come out? That's weird. I'm gonna take calls here too. I don't know why that's down 2.5% today. It's weird. Yeah, so we can go for some BBY. Best Buy. SPY calls up 10% by the way. Let's go for September 4th. for the BBY calls, those are at, whoa, scratch that. Why are these? Why are these so expensive? What's the IV on these? Maybe it's just the spread. Let me see. Okay, SPY is bouncing. Let's see if that holds. I know everyone had a good chance to get into those calls. Come on, give me 20%. Give me 20%. Okay, nice. 37% actually. Nice, 40%. Yeah, trim SPY calls. Very nice, very nice. 0.98 is the trim. Good job. That was perfect timing. I hope you guys all caught that. They went red slightly there, went down to 0.68. But as long as you got in like relatively around that same area, that's 40%. We'll see how much further it can go up. Sorry, going back to Best Buy, I'm gonna avoid these because for some reason the spread is like really bad. So we're just gonna hold off on those. We'll see if that's the SPY low of day. I don't know. I'm happy with 40%, but Nvidia is in the money too. Yeah, you're right. Those are up nicely. We'll see if Nvidia heads back up to the top of the opening range. Am I holding Peloton swing through earnings, or are you out? I'm out of Peloton. Yeah, I don't have Peloton anymore. We'll see if SPY wants to keep going. What am I, 3 for 3 right now? Look, I'm happy with 40% plays today. That's especially after yesterday. There was a lot that happened yesterday, so to take a breather today and just nail out these 40, 50% plays, I'm fine with that. Oh, JPM's having a nice day too. He's up, what, 125% on his, what did he take, puts? Nice. Mark also took a crazy Nvidia swing. I think those were up like 400% today, which is wild. Yeah, we might just chop down here. So much chop. Okay, maybe I'll start looking at CVS now. Let's see if the spreads got better. What did I say, September 4th on those? It's still a really wonky spread. Let's look at something like next week, like the 101. So if it has like a 3%, you know what? I think we can give the 101 a shot. For next week. Let's give it a try, but let's not go so heavy. Really confident with GLD. Yeah, I think Zenith is in GLD. He's much better at that stock than I am. Or not the stock, just like the overall price action on GLD. So I think gold's kind of moving with silver today. Yeah, GLD's up 4%. So gold and silver kind of having similar candles today, which is nice. You are using Robinhood, correct? Desktop. Yeah. So I actually have two brokers up. I'm using Robinhood and Webull right now. I use both. What I might eventually do is just start showing my broker on the actual live stream itself. I think a lot of you guys would appreciate that, watching the amount of cons that I go in with. I'm going to try the CVS, the 101 call for next week, August 14th. It's not so bad of a spread, but I'm going to give these ones a try. This is a swing trade. I definitely wouldn't go as heavy either, because we're going to be trying to get a like a 4%-ish move on CVS. But I mean, we've already had a 5% move so far today, so, and it's running right now, so. But it's the 101. Let's go back over to SPY. See how she's doing. Still chopping. So I'll probably try to go along again around there. See how Nvidia's doing. I'm not in Nvidia, but I'm just curious. Nvidia keeps going. Those calls are back in the money. Actually, I'm curious to see where those are at. They're up to 113. They hit 120. So that's like more than 50% if you held through those calls. Yeah, I can do that. I can start showing. Webull would be the smarter one for me to show, because there are like the numbers and everything, and especially tracking the con prices is much better visibly with Webull. So yeah, I'll probably give that a try. No, I don't. I'm not fully out of them. I just I have the stop loss at break even for the rest of them. But I'm not fully out, just in case we get like another leg up. I'm not heavy in anything today, for the record. I think I've already said that a few times, but just to make sure nobody's doing anything crazy. The last thing I want to see is people have an amazing day like yesterday and then just blow it. Sorry, I forgot to alert the CVS. Let me do that right now. Okay, I posted that. Yes, it's just choppy here on Spot. Let us know if you're going to show during next stream. That would be super helpful. Yeah, I can do that. I'm going to start trading live more often, of course, and you guys have seen me do it more often now that I have my temporary desk set up, you know. But yeah, I can definitely do that. Would you also be able to add your stop losses on your alerts for both day trades and swing trades as you update those? Yeah, for sure. You're not going to see me update a lot of my stop losses on the swing trades just yet, because those are a month out, and I'll give those a bit more time. But yeah, I can definitely do that. Yes, CBS has earnings on the is it the 5th or is it tomorrow? No, it's today. It was this morning. They already had them and they dropped. So besides you, which channel or moderator do you have more time in the Discord group? Oh wait, sorry, let me read that. Besides you, which channel or moderator have more time in Discord? So we actually have a few folks. We have myself, right? And we have Zenith. Zenith is really experienced. Valerie is a newer addition to our community. She's got a very large following on X. She is alerting in our community as well. Part of the Altori family, and she focuses a lot on like selling options. More of like long-term growth. Mark is primarily actually he does both, like swing trading and day trading. Mark's actually really good at day trading. I think today he had like a 600% play on Google and a 400% play on Nvidia. So they're just crazy. We have JPM. You guys probably know JPM from other Discords. He's pretty consistent, one of the more consistent traders I've seen across the Discord platform, so we did bring him on into our community. He's not exclusive, but he does provide some really great setups. Breakdown Sniper is also a newer addition to our community, and he's also very consistent. He's not many people know about him on X, but he's growing his X page, and just a very consistent trader. I mean, we have some other ones as well. I don't know if you guys know who J-Lock is on X. He's also in our community. We have Expo Futures. There's a lot. There's so many resources in the Altori community, and we're constantly growing as well. I'm always looking for new partners, you know, and some of these legitimate X influencers to continue help growing our page. We recently added Megan as well. She has a decent following on X as well, and she's been brought on as one of our moderators. I think she's actually in this. Yeah, Nagrogs. Yes, she is in here. Hi, Megan. Yeah, so she's also she's working as one of our moderators in the community. Yes, I did give J-Lock a channel. Okay, people love. Everybody, especially in my community, was asking about like small account challenges, and you know, there's a very small group of people that like to have, or I guess you could say, a different approach to the stock market. Some that are I can't really, you know, condone, but J-Lock is in our community. Yes. Dragon Alerts is also another one. Yeah, Dragon's cool. I love Dragon. He's very consistent. He also has a following on X. I think he might have his own Discord. I don't know. But Dragon's cool. I love that guy. I bought 9 days out. Yeah, on CBS. Nope, not playing SanDisk. The way I'm playing SanDisk earnings is through SNXX shares. So, not CNX. SNXX. This is how I'm playing SanDisk earnings. It's the 2 times long leverage, and I have an average of like 11. It's like 1150-ish. I think SanDisk earnings are actually coming. They should be today? Yeah, so they're today after market close. I think we keep going up. I was expecting SanDisk back up to 1500 by early August, and we are still early August. So, yeah, I'm still bullish on memory for many reasons. OKLO earnings coming up. Yeah, those are coming up. The problem is those are some expensive cons and not worth playing for me. Also, I didn't really have much data on this company and didn't do enough research, so I can't confidently say really anything about this company right now. If there's one thing I will be honest with everybody, and especially if I haven't done any research on a specific company, I will just simply say I don't know. And that is the case here. I don't know. I haven't done enough research on this one. From a chart perspective, I don't know. I don't like that it dropped below this previous low, and it could be retesting and then just head back lower. But, you know, earnings obviously change everything. Yeah, we're chopping. That's why I'm not looking at SPY right now, because it's very choppy. The nice part is today that the gap has been filled, so it didn't really we're not gonna have gap issues later. That has been the nice part. However, there is still a gap way down here. I don't think it's going to get filled anytime soon. And I say anytime soon. I'm not saying it won't be filled, but you know. Oh, that's true. Yes, Megan is. She's also like Valerie, and she sells options, and is very focused on like consistent profile or portfolio growth. Right. She is starting to dabble with like 0DT and like shorter term, shorter expiration, you know, positions. But primarily like right now, she's an excellent long-term position. She takes long-term positions. We're just chopping, so it's not worth forcing anything right now. Any thoughts on MU? Do you look at my X page? I'm nothing but crazy bullish on my... Actually, I'm a little too bullish on this company. But I just look at their PE ratio, and I think there's more room up. $1,000 per share by the end of SanDisk earnings would be nice. I think we can get back up there. We're in that resistance right now. Ignore some of these texts. They're a little old. Yeah, I would like to see a break here. And then after SanDisk earnings, back up to 1,000. If SanDisk earnings are good, memory's going to have a crazy day tomorrow and the stock market's going to go through the roof again. I wonder if it actually might be smart to short the market here. I might try shorting. Meh, I'll just stay out for now. Yeah, I'm not going to force anything. I'm just going to stay out for now. I took, let's see, I took three new swing trades. And what did I play? SPY calls twice and NVIDIA calls. Everything really only went like 40% today. Max, tops. Well, NVIDIA actually did go higher, but I didn't hold. I'll probably just end it here. I'll come back later, check the swings, and then maybe add a new one. Riley isn't, it's not an earnings play, no. It's I mean, earnings is coming up, but what is it, tomorrow? Earnings are tomorrow. Yeah, but this is more of like long term, a month out. I'm trying to get back up to 885 here. Or it could be nice for earnings. We could see a nice spike on earnings. And if it drops, I don't think it'll drop too much. It doesn't really have really violent earnings moves. So yeah. For the record, I think the market might actually have a bit more of a drop on the day. Yeah, probably. No, unless they're horrible. Yeah, but what I'm saying is like Riley earnings normally don't have really massive moves. Yeah, I'm just going to stop playing the indexes for now. It's just too boring. I don't know. I think it might have more downside, actually. We'll see. I'm going to pack it up. So I went 3 for 3 on the 0 DTEs, and I got 3 open swing trades. So where's the low? 50 bounce again. If we keep dropping and you're looking for a spot to go long, the next spot would be roughly here. It's like 669 or 769 ish is where you would next want to go look for calls for potential bounce. And then obviously if you break through here, you would look for a drop down to there. It's like a $3 move down. It'll be a slow grind. There's nothing too violent with volume today, so everything's going to be slow. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for everyone for tuning in today. I will be looking at probably 1 or 2 more swings going into close. I do want to monitor that TSLL position pretty closely. I really don't have much to say on the indexes right now. But yeah. And there are some earnings today, so you will see me post some analysis and commentary on SanDisk and probably MU later today. Yeah, thanks everyone. If you guys have any questions or analysis you want me to look at, you're more than welcome to post it in any of the Discord chats, or even just comment on X. I look at the comments on X. Feel free to comment there. I'll post some analysis. Yeah, cool. I'll catch you all later.